everybody, Cinema Sickness here again to talk to you about what I bought and what I watched today. And today, head out to both Best Buy and my local Goodwill, where I got myself 4 titles all on DVD. So let's take a look at everything I got. So as I mentioned yesterday, for Christmas I did receive some gift cards, and the gift cards were all for Best Buy, and I made some purchases online today, but after I was done making those purchases, had around $2 and some odd change left on one gift card, so I figured why not run out to Best Buy, maybe pick up a few titles, use up the rest of that gift card, and I actually ended up getting 2 titles. Both listed at $4.99 each. However, after all was said and done and I used the gift cards, they came out to about $4 a piece. And the first one I picked up was Blind Date. Now this is a movie I've been looking at getting for a while now. Why I've been passing it up for so long, I have no idea. Kim Basinger, Bruce Willis, that sounds like a winning combination. The synopsis sounds great. This also gets really good reviews online. So I figured it was about time I finally pick it up. The next title I grabbed, I definitely had to get, and I kind of find it amusing that this is already marked down to $4.99 when this title was only released 2 months ago, and that was A Christmas Story 2. I am a completist, so I had to pick it up and add it to the collection. And I actually watched it today, so we'll talk about this more in a few minutes. So after I was done at Best Buy, I headed out to my local Goodwill where I got myself 2 titles on DVD, both for $1.97 a piece. And the first title I picked up was Plan Gry, otherwise known as The Game Plan. This year's actually a Region 2 Polish release of a game plan. Very odd that I came across this at my local Goodwill here in Pennsylvania. Never expected to see this, but I've actually not watched this movie yet, and I've been thinking about checking it out, so I figured, hey, for $1.97, why not pick up the Polish release? Yes, this is in English, though I actually popped this one in my region-free DVD player, and you can choose between a boatload of languages, not just English, but a ton more. I've never seen a list so long on any DVD or Blu-ray before in my life. It's pretty crazy. But like I said, it does come in English, so I had to pick it up for $1.97, and it's pretty cool that I do have the Polish release of this. But then I saved the best for last. Again, for only $1.97 I picked up The Last Broadcast. This year being the original release. This is great. $1.97 for this is a steal. This is actually out of print right now. In fact, this is the original release. They did re-release it again. Both of those are now out of print. So coming across this at my Goodwill, again, for $1.97 is an amazing deal. I've heard great things about this. This movie is pretty much the original Blair Witch Project, and I am a fan of the Blair Witch Project. I love the movie, and I hear this one's even better. So I definitely had to pick this one up. Can't believe I came across it. This was an amazing find. So that's it for what I bought today, so now onto what I watched. And like I said, today I checked out A Christmas Story 2. Now I went into this expecting it to be just horrible, wretched, just complete garbage, 100%, nothing more than just a mess. Because of all the reviews I've seen on this movie, I've read a bunch of really negative reviews, I've seen some people post some videos about this, just completely ripping it apart. A lot of you told me it was really bad. When I actually mentioned that I picked this one up on Instagram, a lot of people on there told me it was horrible and I wasted my money. And I gotta say, it wasn't horrible. It wasn't good. I'm not saying this movie was a good movie, but it wasn't horrible. It was just very mediocre. I was expecting something more like the third and the fourth Home Alone movies, how bad those were, or maybe A Dennis the Menace Christmas, how bad that was. And in the end, I got a movie that was actually okay. Again, I'm not trying to say this movie was good, but it wasn't horrible. Honestly, I would have to say, if not for one thing, this movie might not be so bad. And that was the fact that they kept trying to throw in jokes from the first movie, kind of to be like, hey, this is a sequel. Ooh, remember the first movie? Well, you're watching this one. That was kind of the only real downfall for me. Otherwise, the story, although not that great, wasn't all that bad. This would have been a mediocre film, again, if not for the fact that they were trying to constantly throw in jokes and reminders, trying to, give us a wink and nod to the first movie. Had they just not done that, this actually would not have been a horrible film. So by no means would I recommend this. It's not good. The original's just superb. This is just not worth seeing. In fact, a lot of people don't know. I remember when this came out, actually, I was talking about this to some people, and it turns out a lot of people do not know. A Christmas Story actually has a sequel. It's called My Summer Story. and it's really good. I highly recommend checking that one out. If you want to see a really good sequel to A Christmas Story, definitely check out My Summer Story. It is an amazing movie. But like I said, this just wasn't as bad as I was expecting it to be from all the negative reviews I heard from it. So, as I said, it's not worth checking out. I wouldn't recommend picking it up. It's not a good movie. But if you're a completist, sure, get it. You might be pleasantly surprised. It just wasn't all that bad. It kept my attention the entire time. I wasn't bored with it. I wasn't watching it just rolling my eyes constantly. Really, the only time I roll my eyes is when they were, again, when they're trying to throw in jokes from the original or just trying to give us a wink and nod to the original. Yeah, I was rolling my eyes at those points. But otherwise, not that bad. I really wish they would have just left those parts out, and then I might actually have recommended it. I might actually said, yeah, it's okay. Check it out if you can get it for cheap. In fact, you can get it for cheap. Like I said, it was marked down to $4.99 at Best Buy on DVD, so that's pretty bad that within 2 months it's already down to $5 on DVD. But again, I'm not going to recommend it, but maybe if you've been thinking about checking it out, I would say, yeah, see it. Go for it. Knock yourself out. It wasn't the worst movie I've ever seen. There are many, many worse sequels out there. I just didn't think it was absolutely horrible, but it wasn't good either, and I can't necessarily full-heartedly recommend it just completely. I can only kind of sort of say, well, if you really want to see it, it's not that bad. You won't hate it. You just won't love it either. So, all in all, mediocre. So that's it for what I bought and what I watched today. Certainly excited about the 4 titles I picked up on DVD, especially getting the last broadcast for only $1.97. I cannot stress enough of how great of a deal that was and how amazing of a find that was. That was just great. Can't wait to check that one out. And also watching A Christmas Story 2, it wasn't nearly as bad as I was expecting. It wasn't good, but it could have been much, much worse. I had to say, all in all, I would list it as mediocre. I wouldn't say it was horrible. I wouldn't say it was wretched. I wouldn't say it was the worst movie I've ever seen. I would just say it was mediocre. So for any reason, maybe you want to check it out, go for it. You probably won't hate it. It might at least keep your attention, but you're certainly not going to love it. It does not hold up to the original at all, not even to the original sequel. Doesn't even come close. But all in all, just a mediocre film that I can't recommend, but at the same time I can't necessarily not recommend because it wasn't completely all that bad. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned to see what I bought when I watch tomorrow. See ya.